So now stepping back and starting at the beginning, when you look at need-based aid, all right, it begins with what's called your FAFSA form.
Okay.
And that's your free application for federal student aid.
Yep.
And this, again, is a form that many people, would poo-poo and say, oh, well, I'm not going to qualify for anything. I'm not going to fill it out. But we would encourage, all of our clients, basically anybody, to always fill out a FAFSA form. I mean, if you were Bill Gates, we'd be telling you should be filling out a FAFSA form, because if nothing else, yes, Bill Gates isn't going to be qualifying for any need-based aid. However, it would still make him eligible for federal loans.
Okay.
And whether or not he needs the federal loans or is going to use them, it's just a nice option to have. And so, we would just as soon have the option as not have the option. So you fill out the FAFSA form, and then you never know for sure, again, depending upon your school selection, maybe there is some aid available, that could sneak through there. Now, beside the FAFSA form, all right, and the FAFSA form, the biggest things that they're looking at or considering, on this financial aid form, it's going to be parental income, student income, parent asset, and student assets are the four main factors there, that go into come up with what is called your EFC. EFC standing for your expected family contribution. And that's the amount of money that the government or the school feel that you can afford to pay each year for your child's education.
Okay. And
so in many instances, you'll fill out your FAFSA form and it comes out, just to pick a number, it's going to come out and say $30,000 is your number. And that is your number, all right, that they think you can afford to pay. I've never had a family who really believed they could afford to pay what their EFC came out to, but that's just the way it works.
Okay.
They feel like they're living month to month as it is,
right?
And they have no idea where the school believes they can come up with $30,000 a year to help pay for school. But they do take into consideration, assets that you have, and saying, hey, those monies could be used to, to help to pay for school, or you wouldn't have to be participating or putting money into your 401k plan, during your child's college years. So those monies could be transferred over to help pay for school. I mean, they really don't believe that you should be retiring and having kids in college at the same time.
Right, yeah, work until the end to pay for college.
You've got more years to pay after that.
Yeah.
And so that's your FAFSA formula, or your FAFSA and the FAFSA formula that comes up with your EFC, which is your number, which should be the starting point for everybody who is looking at colleges, because this is what determines, what type of family you are and what aid is available, what financial aid is available. So if you have a lower EFC, hey, we could be looking at need-based aid and we could be looking at merit aid. If you have a high EFC, then, okay, maybe need-based aid isn't on the table, but we certainly will now be looking at schools, that afford more merit aid.
Right.